Hello, hello, hello. How you doing today? First of all, happy Labor Day to everyone. I appreciate you tuning in to this episode tonight. Sorry about the episode starting kind of late. It's kind of preoccupied about things, but nevertheless, we're gonna have this discussion tonight. Ladies, let me ask you this question: Do you honestly believe that men, or preferably the men that you're with right now, do you believe that they honestly care about you wearing weave, you wearing wigs, you wearing tracks, you wearing extensions, or even decide to wear your natural hair? Let's find out after the introduction. Once again, everybody, I am the official urban therapist. Welcome tonight. It looks like my system is having a slight delay for whatever reason. I don't know why it's doing this right now, but nevertheless, we're gonna just push through it. We're gonna work through it tonight. All right. So, once again, I appreciate y'all tuning in today, and happy Labor Day to each and every last one of y'all. If you didn't watch my live earlier today when I was briefly talking about Labor Day, I encourage you to watch that because it was we had a pretty interesting conversation, me and my daughter, and we actually found out the meaning of Labor Day too as well. So go check that out on your leisure time. But let's jump into this topic where we're talking about right now. Now, ladies, I have to just talk about this, okay? I know that this could turn up to be a sensitive topic, but we got to talk about it. We got to address it. We got to address it. All right. I've been real curious lately about what is the purpose, or what's the reason why women such as yourself wear wigs, wear extensions, wear well, what's that, tracks, all these other different type of things, right? And then also we also have the women who just say, forget it, I'm just gonna be straight natural. We have natural women as well. So today in this podcast, I want to just talk about that. I want to just have an honest conversation about that. All right. So first of all, let's ask the I'm gonna ask the question that most men don't want to ask. All right. I'm gonna be the representative. Okay. So wherever y'all want to say, y'all can say it to me. I could take it. I got thick skin. I could take it. So my first question is, why is it important for you to modify your hairstyle? Well, why is that very important? Why is it important for you to either wear wigs, extensions, tracks, or any of these things? Why is that important for you to undo that? All right, that's the first question. The next question is this: do y'all know where all of that originated from? Wearing wigs, extensions, tracks, or in this thing. Do y'all honestly know the origin story behind that? If you don't know, I actually had did a video about this on my YouTube channel. And I did a full video explaining the history of it, explaining the history of where all that came from and everything. So if you go to my YouTube channel, Fisher Urban Therapist, is back in if you're going to my playlist, is back in season 3 of my playlist. and I went into history, explaining where all this originated from. All right, Miss Jessica Marie. Hey, what's up, Jessica? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Appreciate you. Happy Labor Day. And yes, I do have a whole wife that has a perfection in hairstyle, and she's a great resource and proof that men just be running their gums. Yep, I sure do. And also, Miss Jessica, once again, this is my platform, so I could talk about wherever I want to talk about. Tonight, we're going to talk about this. We're going to have this discussion. Because just like you say, it's true. I do have a wife. She do have a profession in doing this as being a stylist for women. That is absolutely true. And we had this conversation before, and we had it many other times. But I want to figure out from other women's perspective what is the reason behind it. Then while I'm asking these questions, I'm also going to give you my perspective about it as well. All right. So we just like I say, we're gonna dive into this. We're gonna talk about it. Once again, I was briefly explaining about the origins about it. I was telling you that on my season 3 playlist on my YouTube channel, The Official Urban Therapist, I actually went into a full history of explaining the whole origins of women wearing weaves, tracks, and and all the stuff there, wigs and all the stuff there. But what I am going to do, I'm going to briefly tell y'all once again where it came from, all right? Just to give you a quick origin about it again, all right? I'm not going to go into extreme details. So I'm just going to give you a brief summary about where it all came from, all right? So, of course, we know that it originated from a European concept. We know that for a fact that it originated from a European concept where not only the women but the men of that time, they both was modifying their hairstyles. They was wearing wigs and all these different other things and stuff as well. So they was doing that, and they was doing it for various reasons. So that was mainly the main reason why they was doing that, because it was more of a upper social class perspective. In other words, um, mainly the upper social class people or the wealthy people, they the ones who's modifying their hairstyles to look a certain way for society, to deem themselves more presentable or more suitable or more as the word say, uppity than the lower class people. So that's where it originated from. It originated from Europe. So it originated from Europe first. Then once when it entered into America, it started with our cultural force with black people concerned. It started with black people during the antebellum era of slavery. All right. And this is during the time where the slave masters and stuff that was actually was sleeping with the house slaves. In other words, the house slave women. Okay. Part of the deal for these men in that time to sleep with the slave women was that they wanted the slave women to look similar to their counterparts, which was their wives. They wanted the slaves to look similar to their wives. So that's the reason why they start taking out the kinkiness and everything out of yeah, out of the black women hair, and start straightening out their hair and everything like that, where they wanted them to look as closely similar to their wives as possible. So they start straightening out their hair, did all these other things as well in the antebellum era. Then when you fast forward through that, of course that's when the first wave of the feminist movement started. When the first wave of the feminist movement started, this was the same time where we have people such as Madam C.J. Walker, and different other people who was in the styling industry. They started marketing products to help black women in they hair to keep that straight look. Because keep in mind, after the post antebellum era and starting into this into the first wave of the feminist movement and stuff, right? There are two different things that was happening during that time. First of all, the white women at that time that was fighting for their rights to be citizens of the United States. That's the first part. The second part was that the slaves was fighting for their freedom as well. That's the second part of that. Now, through that, they was dealing with that and also dealing with segregation and all these different other things as well. So during that time, that's when people such as Madam C.J. Walker and all them came into the scene, and they wanted the women to be socially acceptable. So that's when they started developing products and different things like that to help the black woman with their kinky hair and stuff. So fast forward all the way back into where we at right now. This is the reason why this thing has been prevalent right now as a culture right now, where our women want to have their hair either straightened all the way out, or they want to have their hairstyle modified, such as adding extensions and tracks and weave and or wear wigs, in these different type of things that was happening right now. So that's a brief history about it. All right, briefly. Did Egypt have a part of it too? Absolutely, you're correct about that. Egypt did have a part of that because also their culture was doing the same thing, which their culture was doing the same thing. That's the European counterparts as well, where like I stated earlier, it was mainly the wealthy, the upper class people who was participating in it, and so also the pharaohs and the queens and stuff like that. They was doing the same exact thing as well. Now I want to let y'all know this as well while I'm explaining all this. I want to let y'all know that by me talking about this doesn't constitute that I'm being biased and I'm saying that men, well, I'm saying that every man do not desire for their woman to have weaves and extensions and tracks or whatever stuff like that. That is what I'm not advocating for. All right. The whole purpose of this live is to explain the purpose behind women wearing weaves, track, and extensions, and to want to get an understanding, and to just honestly get an understanding from a woman's perspective. Do they husbands, or do they the man that you date, or any man, on do they honestly accept you for wearing weaves, track, and extensions, and stuff like that. So that's what we're going to dive down to it. That's what we're going to figure out. Okay. Miss Peterson, welcome, 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 welcome. Now, you said no. I don't know the history. I wear my hair naturally. My husband has stated his dislike of weaves, extensions of weave. I wear my hair naturally because I have chosen to do so, and I'm proud of my African ancestry. And that is absolutely great that you're doing that, Miss Peterson. Because I was going to bring that up a little bit later about the choice behind that. Okay. So I'm gonna dive into the choice behind it as well too later, all right? Hey, Rushawn, welcome, boy. Welcome, 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 man. Welcome, welcome. All right. And Jessica, she says this, or Africa. So is this about straight weave, not extensions? So kinking extension, locks, etc. Is that okay? Those are good questions, and we're going to address that shortly. We are definitely going to address that. And also, she said it's a thing. Most companies do discriminate against natural hair, and black men aren't the sole providers for many women. So we got to get it how we can, which that's also true stuff too. This also true too. Now, also when I was mentioning earlier about going through the segregation era, and I was talking about Madam C.J. Walker and all them. There are different men as well that was dealing with not finding a whole lot of work, but some of the women were starting to find work because they decided to modify their looks so they could become culturally acceptable. So yeah, absolutely, that is true, Jessica. That is true. But even right now keep in mind with this, even right now, it just recently became a thing where um, different companies is going under different lawsuits dealing with discrimination due to a person, how the way a person has their hair, preferably with with African American people in this country, and I think other countries too. But I know for sure in this country that there have been different lawsuits dealing with discrimination against a person her. I remember looking at different reports where it was a man, he was wearing locks, and the company was requiring him to cut his locks because they said it was a part of company policy. But however, company policy versus law is two totally different things, and so that's why a lawsuit was end up establishing about that. So ever since then, there have been different progress behind that. There have been different changes by that, where more companies become more socially acceptable with people wearing these hairstyles, especially women. Where women they're coming, they wear natural hairstyles, and some women will wear locks and different things like that. Long as it's professionally presentable in that sense. Yeah, Miss Davis Cole, welcome, welcome, welcome. And she says this, I'm sure there's a reason for some women, but honestly, women can wear their hair any way they want. Interesting you say that. Interesting you say that, because we're going to address that as well. Matter of fact, you know what? Let's address it right now. Let's address it right now. Now, I know that at the end of the day, women have absolutely the right to wear their hair any way they want to. Women do. You have every right to do that. But this is the question that a lot of men been asking me about this, and this is kind of another reason why I'm talking about this tonight. The question is this: even though you have the right to wear your hair any way you want to wear it, right? Anyway, any way you choose. Why do it appears that instead of you wearing your hair for whatever various reason you wearing it for, why do it appear that you more wearing your hair to keep track with the culture, to keep in track with wherever society is dictating, or where what society is manipulating you, or what society is brainwashing you to keep your hairstyle? Like case in point, like for example, and I'm talking about modern day culture now. Case in point, for example, any type of celebrity that you could think of, or any type of woman celebrity that you could think of, the moment when they decide to change their hairstyle any type of way, majority of the women will gravitate towards that. Many of the women, they'll gravitate towards that, and they'll end up wearing that same type of hairstyle because the celebrity promotes that type of hairstyle. Not just because it's something that you just want to do, but it was part of a manipulation tactic. And this is where different men are telling me that it's more of a manipulation tactic. Like for example, I remember almost like about 5 years or so ago, or it may be sooner than that. I remember Beyonce, right? I remember Beyonce, she came out with a unique hairstyle that was braided, right? A unique braided hairstyle. People barely seen this type of hairstyle in America, right? But Beyonce decided to do this type of hairstyle. The type of hairstyle that I'm talking about is called the goddess lock, right? or the goddess twist, either the goddess twist or the goddess lock, one of them two. So from there, different women, after when Beyonce promoted that, different women started gravitating like, yeah, yeah, I'm gonna get that style. Then there's women who don't even have enough hair to even pull off the style, so they go to the local beauty supply house, and that's when they start getting all the stenches of the weed, whatever, so they can mimic the style that Beyonce had. Later on down the line, there's another style that Beyonce did. I believe it's called lemonade braids as well. She had this type of style. Women started gravitating towards it. They started going to the beauty supply house, spending a lot of money just to replicate this style that Beyonce have right now. So the different men that talked to me about this, they was wondering why is it so important for the woman to mimic or replicate this style, when at the end of the day, majority of the men is going to accept you for regardless of what style that you have, regardless if you do decide to put weave extensions or whatever into your hair, or wear one wigs or whatever, or if you go natural. And this was a majority of a lot of men been telling me, that at the end of the day, they tell me all the time, at the end of the day, hey, bro, we really don't matter what type of hairstyle women wear, as long as we good with it, as long as they good with it. That's what they say. And this comes to my perspective about this, which I done said this before. My perspective about this is that at the end of the day, as long as you are comfortable in your femininity, as long as you are comfortable with who you are, and as long as your reasoning of choosing any type of style that you want to do for your hair, as long as you are comfortable in it, and long as you accepted it, not you trying to get approval from other people, but you are comfortable in it, then I don't care about it. It's fine. I'm cool with it. And to be honest, I believe a lot of men have that same type of mentality as me as well. At the end of the day, as long as you are cool with it, as long as you're comfortable in your personal femininity space about it, you're not trying to do it because you feel like me or any type of man will not accept you because you feel like that you're not beautiful enough, then that's a totally different issue. I wanna let y'all know, I wanna let y'all women know that at the end of the day, just about every man accept you for who you are. Notice I say just about every man. There are few suckers out there who are visually attracted to what they see on social media and all the stuff there. There are men that are out there that like that. But in most cases, these are men who are not fully mature. Most of the cases, these are type of men that think that driving a sports car is winning, or getting the most expensive sports car is that you're winning when you're in debt. These type of men that buying the most expensive clothes, thinking that you're winning, but you barely making it. You barely surviving. Probably living with someone. These are the type of men that are out there. But however, a real man, a true man, doesn't view a woman like that. A true man, if he view you and he love you for you, he's gonna love you for you. He's gonna accept you for you. And it's not gonna matter how many times you modify your hair. It don't matter how many times you put on a wig. It don't matter how many times you put tracks in your hair. It don't even matter about none of that. It don't even matter about that at all. Period. It doesn't matter, because he's gonna accept you for you. This is the reason why when men look at women and they women they be wrapping their hair up, they put on their bonnets and all stuff there, and we really don't be tripping about it. We don't care about that. Because a real man know how it is. We know how it is, and we understand it. So that's my perspective, and I believe a lot of men as well have the same type of mentality as well. Where at the end of the day, they really ain't tripping about it at all. They're really not. It's really not that big of a deal. Hey, Deucey Matt, what's up? What's up, bro? What's up with it? Appreciate you joining. Appreciate you joining. Now he said this. He said we don't care about hairstyles or makeup. I mean, it's true, absolutely. But I will tell you this once again that a real man, we will be acceptable about it. We wouldn't even trip about it. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. Are you wear your African hair wrap to rep? That's what's up. Women aren't looking for approval of men. Now, question on Dr. J. Question about that. I got a question about that since you mentioned that. If women are looking for approval of men, why is it important for some of these women to gain approval for the society or for the culture? Why is that important for them? Just like I stated earlier about when celebrities such as Beyonce come out and they have a certain type of hairstyle. Then the woman decide to get that hairstyle because I know I'm gonna look good in this type of hairstyle because at the end of the day, I honestly believe that some women do want to be approved by men. They're looking for their approval. They're looking for that type of validation. Some women are. I'm not saying all. I'm saying some women really are looking for that type of validation. Now, Ducey, he said, that's the kind they like, bro. They are the ones who win, and most women are attracted to money. Interesting perspective, bro. Interesting. Very interesting. Hey, it's a lot of comments coming in, by the way, Dr. J. And then you said men have something to lose in being honest, and women don't. Is that really true? Let me ask you this question too, and this for all my ladies who are watching right now. Let me ask y'all this question: when you come into the room, right, and you have a different type of hairstyle, and then you go to your whoever your significant other is, you go to your significant other, and you ask them, "Hey, babe, do you like this hairstyle? Be honest. Be honest with it. What type of answer are you looking for him to say? And be realistic about it. Be honest and be realistic about it. Are you looking for that validation where he say, "Hey, it looks good," even though deep down inside he probably thinking, "Man, why in the hell did she choose this hairstyle? This hairstyle have not look crazy. I don't know why she chose this hairstyle." Now, be honest, ladies. Are you looking for him to be supportive? Are you looking for him to be realistic with you and tell him straight up, "Man, nah, that ain't what that is," and accept the answer that he gives you? Because there may be some women. Keep in mind, especially the modern day women, if you were to tell them something like that, their answer would be, "Well, whatever, I like it. I'm gonna do me anyway." That would be their response, even though the man said, "No, that ain't what that is. I'm gonna wear it anyway. I done spent all this money. I spent over $800 buying this stuff, and I spent over 5 or 6 hours sitting in this chair getting it done. You're gonna like this hairstyle, and I don't care." So so I want y'all to be realistic about it. Let's be realistic about it. Let's be realistic about it. Do you want the man to be honest and truthful to you, even though you done spent all that time, all that effort into getting this particular hairstyle done? Or do you want him to validate you and say, yeah, it look good? Because at the end of the day, I believe that women do look for validation in men. I believe that. Likewise, men do look for validation in women too, as well. We honestly do. We honestly do. We would not be sitting, let me put y'all this way, for a man perspective. We wouldn't be sitting in a barber shop, getting lined up and stuff, chilling with the boys and making sure that we fresh. Just for us to step out into the scene and thinking that a woman is not going to validate. It's the whole point. It's the whole entire point. When we get out and get fresh and go out on the scene, we be having our clothes, everything be on point. We be wanting y'all to validate us. We want y'all to pay attention to us, so we could be a suitor to y'all, so y'all could look at us like, dang, that dude fine. He, man, everything on point about him. His line up straight. Man, I wish he come over here and holler at me. Or some of y'all modern day women will actually go up and approach the dude. So yes, we do look for validation on both perspectives. Both men and women look for validation. We do it all the time. We do. But once again, it depends on the reasoning behind it. And that's where the question lies. It depends on the reason behind it. Now, if you're looking for validation just so you can feel good inside and that's it, I believe there's an issue behind that. I believe that there's a self-accountability part behind it. I do. Instead of it being like, regardless of how people look at me or how society deem me, I'm comfortable in my personal femininity, period. I'm going to rock whatever style I want to do because I am me, period. Now, if you have that type of mentality, then I'm telling you, that is perfect. That is beautiful. That's a great level of confidence for you to have. But if you're doing it the other way around because deep down inside, you don't feel like that you're beautiful enough. You feel like that you need to do more to modify yourself. You feel like if you step out into the world, immediately people are going to laugh at you and talk about you and all the stuff there. Have this insecurity issue about your personal self. Then yeah, that's a problem. Then trying to bring that same type of insecurity into relationships and creating a toxic atmosphere. So yeah, that's an issue. But I'm telling you, ladies, I'm telling you, if it's the other way around, men is not tripping about that. Long as you're doing it for you and you comfortable in your beautifulness and your femininity, we don't care. Do it. And this the same as that thing for when women be when the modern day women be wearing the makeups and the extra eyelashes and different things like that. It's the same concept. Same concept. If you're comfortable in that, by all means do it because you're doing it for you. You ain't doing it for me, but you're doing it for you. They're by all means doing it. And the man will accept that. Because he will accept that because he care about you enough that at the end of the day, he see the true you. He see the true beauty in you. He see that. There also a real man, a true man, will know that there be certain situations where you do have to modify yourself to look a certain way for the society. Now, case in point, like some of y'all looking at my honeymoon picture with me and my wife on here, right? I meant to change it, but I was like, forget it. I just left it up. But even with doing professional photo shoots like this, you have to modify your look just for the picture to turn out perfect, which that is fine. And ain't nothing wrong with that. You have to do certain things to modify your look. Same thing with different celebrities. When they be in front of the camera, a lot of one people, especially videographers, they say this. They say that it is hard. It is very difficult to capture a person's natural look. It just don't look right on camera. So that's why they be having the makeup artists and they be having the stylists there, and they be having all these different other people there to modify the look just so it could look better on camera. That's another instance where that society or that cultural acceptance thing come into play, where the look have to be modified for certain reasons, for certain situations, which at the end of the day, I say it again, at the end of the day, it is fine. Long as you're comfortable in your space and your own personal femininity is fine. We men don't care about that. Men do not care about that at all. We don't. Oh, I got to post this comment. Ducey said this. He said, the only time I care about a hairdo is when I got to pay for it. Hey, I feel you on that, bro. I feel you on that. I feel you. Then he say, I just like looking good, so I'm always be suited and booted when I'm stepping into the limelight. Which, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And Dr. J, I agree with you on this as well. You said my looks are always natural. You get what you get. You like it. Uh, I like it. I like it. I don't like it either way. It's me. And that's what I'm talking about. Long as you in your space and you doing it for you, and you ain't trying to impress a man in doing it, then by all means, rock it. Do you? Yeah, he better look better than those construction men in Tim's and white beater dripping sweat street corner. Jessica, you out in the mud, girl. You as well. Oh, Dr. J, you want me to drop the link? Oh, you got to come on YouTube because I forgot to tell y'all this. Those of you who view me on Facebook, if you want to come up on my panel and if you like to say anything on there, I will drop the link. But you got to come to my YouTube channel because I'm only going to drop the link on my YouTube channel only. I'm not dropping it on Facebook. Yeah, true, bro. True. True that. But yeah, I'm only right now. I'm physically ready to drop the link right now, but I'm only dropping it on YouTube, and that's it. So if you're not following me on YouTube and you would like to come up here and you would like to express yourself, I'm dropping it on YouTube only. Then while you come over here, you can go ahead and subscribe to my channel as well on YouTube. But appreciate y'all Facebook. Give me a second. And on Dr. J, don't you do that. Don't you do that. Tell my bro, you know. Cause you know what happened the last time when we tried this. Oh, how often I do these on podcasts, bro? I do these on podcasts as often as I can. Normally I do them twice a week. Normally. Yeah, I know you follow me, but you just not there right now. oh, oh, Miss Suzanne. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you tuning in. So, Miss Stone, I know I've been getting a lot of comments. Oh, here's your comment right here. I was about to get ready to ask you, well, how do you feel about this topic? But I found your comment. Let me pull it up. Now, you said that's how women bond with each other. It's not about men. True, I get it. But at the same time, when it comes to a point, speaking about the modification part, when it comes to the point about the modification part, and it comes to the point where women are trying to do it for us, they're trying to get the attention of man, then I just honestly feel that, yeah, that's the reason behind it. I feel that we all want to be validated. We all do. We all look for that type of validation. We all do it. Sure, I do it. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I look for that validation all the time, especially when I'm with my wife, and especially we be going out. Shoot, who y'all talking about? Shoot, I know I know I'm gonna come clean with it, and I know she gonna do the same, but not because I tell her that she have to look a certain way. And that's another thing too. I'm glad I thought about this too, and I'm talking about the men now. Now, men, and I got to be 100% transparent with y'all. How dare us tell women that they must look a certain way? How dare we say that? That shouldn't even come out of our mouth, period. I prefer my woman to look natural all the time. Bro, you know good and well in this modern day culture that your woman cannot look natural every single day. You know that. Furthermore, if you were to understand the things that women go through just for them to even look natural, you wouldn't even say that. Women go through so much stuff just to look natural, and they go through twice so much stuff to modify themselves. But us as men, on the other hand, we don't go through a whole lot of stuff. All we got to do is go to the barbershop, wherever, get lined up, and we done. We don't have to put on a whole lot of makeup. We don't have to do none of this extra stuff. Even if, even when men with longer hair who have dreads, so I had on dreadlocks at one point in time. Even even with men with them type of hairstyle, longer hairstyle, stuff like that, it still don't take us all day just to modify ourselves. It don't. Versus the things that a woman have to go through. And you have to understand that women have been through a whole lot in this country. They've been through a lot. They've been through a lot to try to want to be socially accepted in this country. They've been through a whole lot. So, of course, they go through a whole lot. Of course, they do. So, yeah, that is very, very, very insane for you to even suggest that with your woman, to force her to say, you know what, I want you to be natural all the time, blah, 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 whatever. No, no, bro. That ain't cool at all. Yeah, you're right, Deuce. That's for immature men. You're right about that. And you say, I prefer natural, so I lean more towards natural looking women, long as she is looking like herself when she modify her. Because some women over modify and be looking crazy. You know what, bro? I'm glad that you was real transparent about that. I'm glad that you was transparent about that. And I believe that women need to hear that too. And this is what I was saying earlier too. When I was making an example where a woman were to get a certain type of hairstyle or a certain type of look, then she asked for validation from her man or a significant other, right? This is the whole concept of what I'm talking about as well, bro. Exact same thing. Where at the end of the day, we really don't care. But when you looking weird and crazy, do you want us to be truthfully and honest with you and tell you like, hey, that ain't what that is, regardless of how much money you spent modifying yourself? Or do you want us to validate you and say, you look good, even though we know you're not looking good? Now, Susanna, she said men wear toupees and headpieces. How do you explain that? Miss Suzanne, we're not talking about them right now. We talking about y'all ladies. Don't be trying to deflect the conversation. I see what you trying to do, trying to be clever. You're a clever one, are you? But what I can do is this: I could do another one podcast where we talk about the men wearing them on toupees and stuff like that. If you wanted to, we have a whole another podcast about that. But we're not talking about them right now. Nice one, trying to deflect. But I still love you though, Miss Suzanne. Miss Peterson, how you doing again? She says that, well, when two people meet each other, both decide what they like about each other, and if certain things are not appealing, then just move on. And you know what, Miss Peterson, that is a very mature statement that you made. I agree. I agree. But yeah, yeah. But yeah, yeah, I agree with it. I do. But also, Miss Peterson, when it comes down to it, when it comes down to the core of it, what's more important? Is the look important, or what's deep inside the person? Is that more important? Miss Nicole, welcome, 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 welcome. The topic today that I'm talking about tonight, I'm talking about why do women wear weave, tracks, extensions, wigs? That's what I'm talking about right now. Why is it important for women to wear weaves, track, wigs, extensions, and all that stuff? Why is that important? And so I'm also giving different type of scenarios and about the reason why, and just sharing my perspective about how the way I personally feel about it, and sharing my perspective about how different men who have had this conversation with me, how they feel about it as well. So the overall, once again, Mr. Cole, the overall consensus is that most men do not care. Well, most real men do not care about how the way a woman modify her hair. Whether she wear wigs or tracks, extensions, or anything like that. They don't. Long as it's not outlandish. Long as it's not looking, as we say, clown-ish. But then I have posed a question. I'm a Miss Nicole. I'm gonna ask you this question as well too. I'm gonna ask you this question too. All right. What if one day you walk up either to your man or whatever, or your significant other, right? You spent over 5 or 6 hours getting a certain hairstyle, right? And so then right after that, not only you spend like 5 or 6 hours with a hairstyle, you spent over $800 something getting this type of hairstyle. You come into the room, you ask your significant other, hey, do you like this hairstyle? How do I look? What is your honest response that you think that that person going to say to you? Do you want them to be truthfully to you tell them exactly what's on their mind, regardless if they agree with it or not, or do you want them to validate you because you spent all this money getting your hair done, spent all this time getting your hair done, and so you want that person to validate you and say, "Hey, it looks good," but deep down inside their mind, "No, I don't look good at all." That's my question to you and everyone else.
No, that's really not even what I want.
Everyone, I would like to welcome Dr. J to the show. Welcome, Dr. J. How you doing?
Hey, I'm frustrated now because like my kids ate my food.
Oh
But
Lord.
they ate my snack, my plantain chips. No, I don't even want that. I don't know.
She came on her this already that's frustrated, so I already know how this thing's get ready to go. But
Okay, I'm
go
about to
ahead.
take all my anger and frustration out on you. So anyway, women
Yep,
don't
I
need
already
no
know.
validation of men. No, no, no. What? So you're saying that you think that women seek the validation because women ask a man how they look, but the difference between men and women is that if you look at the behaviors, just the social behaviors of men and women in general, even if you're looking at them developmentally, as they're going through the different stages of development socially, what you notice is that once men get to a certain stage of life, they gravitate towards their conversation and their close proximity and the way that they relate to men in a very different way than women do. With women have a natural tendency to be in competition, stiff competition with other women. And it's always like a showdown with women. It's just like that. And they're always seeking validation in a roundabout way from one another. That's what determines a woman's capacity, I guess, to excel in life. Because women are typically not the providers. Women are typically not going out doing that role. So if we look at women historically, and I know that you guys think that women just started wearing makeup and all that good stuff, but women have been wearing makeup since BC. They've been doing this stuff naturally even then. So when you say natural, what do you mean? So women want the approval of other women. Women want to look nice and be complimented and be admired by other women. And yeah, men will see them and gravitate to them, but that will make other women jealous of them. It's never really about the men. Men are always being used by the women in that way. On the other hand, men do need the validation of women to feel more masculine or approved or, you know, righteous in wherever they sit. And that's because men don't need that approval of other men in the same way that women need that approval of women, because we view our relationship and we view our relatedness and relatability of the sexes very differently because we develop in different ways.
Hey, Dr. Jefferson, I don't mean to cut you off. Pause, hold that thought for 1 second because I got to address this comment here. I got to. Miss Peterson, she said this. Even if he doesn't like my hair, well, he needs to keep any negative comments to himself.
Hmm.
So that to me is validation.
Well, it's not validation. It's a comment because okay, so when a woman goes to her man and says, "Hey babe, does this look good?" when we're on our way out to an event, right? The reason is because when we go out and we step out to this event, women are going to be judged by the many women in the room. Guess what? Men are going to be judged by the many women in the room. I'm just going to let you know that we're judging both the men and the women. The women's opinion matters both ways. So a woman is asking you how she looks so that when she goes out and she's gawked on by the eyes of the many judged for women, she's not out here looking like a fool. So she's asking you before she steps out, you know what I mean? Am I okay? Am I at least decent, right? Or do I need to change? Because if she's out here in these streets looking a fool and, she's your woman.
Miss Peter, sorry to cut you off again. Miss Peterson said she don't compete with no other woman, and
Yeah,
I believe that there are many women who are viewing right now feel the same way, that they're not competing with other women. How you feel about that?
they may say that, but if they ever went after a man, if they wanted to be in a relationship with a man, that says that they've competed with women. That's just what it is. That's just how people are naturally. It's the innate nature of human beings. We've studied it for years. Even women who are like very masculine, even the women who are like, what you consider to be studs, they still struggle with the same thing, even though they have a vast majority of testosterone, masculinity. You know what I'm saying? They still have the same thing. They still have those same basic feminine characteristics.
Miss
Those are
Peterson,
innate qualities of females.
yeah, Miss Peterson, she wants you to go into more detail. And Miss Susanna, you will have to go to my YouTube channel. You'll have to jump over to YouTube if you want to come up on the panel. And I got the link put up on my YouTube. I'm sorry, you continue.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. But so it's just the innate it's just the innate nature of men and women, human development. So even if we don't this is the one thing that we know. Even if we don't condition gender roles into males and females, this is the one thing that remains the same across the board. Mm-mm. Mm, maybe
Are
the
you getting your
popcorn.
snacks in now? Are you
Do I
happy
have any
now?
fruit in there at all? Ugh, I just listen, like I got growing grown men in this house. And they like, I swear, anything that comes through the door goes literally in their stomach. God. But yeah, so okay, so I'm gonna break it down very, very simple. So if you look at, I'm gonna start from the earliest phase of development where you first notice it, because typically that's what makes it, I guess that's where it's more noticeable. Um, Boys playing on the playground at at toddler age, right? 3, 4, 5 years old. Boys will never come to you and say, "Mommy, do I look handsome? Do I look handsome?" As they're getting dirty, right? Playing with their trucks with the other kids on the playground, roughhousing with the
Um,
boys.
oh man,
They're
my
not
son did that.
they're normally they're not gonna do that without any conditioning about cleanliness. Baseline things. Boy and girl going to the playground for the first time to play with other kids. Girls, on the other hand, "Mom, do I look pretty?" They're going to come back and they're going to check several times, because their playing is going to dishevel the things that mom or dad has taken the time to put together to introduce them into the play setting. So there is a reason that it happens in the beginning. But also, this is going to be a thing that draws attention to the girl. So, for example, when you do her hair, when you're taking that additional time to do her hair, twist her hair, a boy's haircut takes way less time than it takes for you to attend to a girl's hair. The extra attention that you take tying the sash on her dress, the extra attention you take picking out the barrettes, making it match the dress, making the shoes match. You understand what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
if you guys are following, the extra attention that you take getting a girl to a certain particular look, right, plays a huge role in the way that she sees herself in the world around her, but also the way that she sees other people. The less attention that you give to a boy shows her that the boy's appearance is less important, but there will be some basic things in a boy that makes perfect sense. And those are the things that are supposed to be important about a boy. So, a basic haircut, a basic hairline, just all the basic things.
Isn't this?
So,
I mean, cut you off on. It's isn't this similar to the Oh my God! It was a model that I was studying about in psychology, where they had they had one girl and they pick out a doll and say which one looks pretty to them, and they ran the same type of similar test on the boy as well.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, I forgot what was the name of that test. I forgot. And it's in the back of my head too.
Gender conditioning, it's gender conditioning experimentation.
Okay, gotcha.
But so it's based off of where the way that you're starting to condition them. So this has a huge, role when it comes to the way that they see the world around them once they become older, and the way that they look at the world as they go through the next phase of development when they now become 5 and 6 years old, and then the next phase of development at 11 or 12 years old.
Gotcha, gotcha. So even within all that still seems like a form of validation, right?
Well, you're teaching the girl that she has a more intricate form of validation. And because you're teaching the girl that girls have a more intricate form of validation that she has to go through, and girls have to look a certain way, right? Girls are only seeking the validation of other girls. So she's only in competition of other girls. So not boys are never a part of the equation. They're never an important part of the equation because they never became an invitational part of the conversation, even in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Mothers are the people that gave them the approval. Even if dad weighed in and said, "Oh, baby, that's cute," right? Mom is the one would take the extra time. Mom would be the one that gave the point of approval in the beginning. So that's where they're getting these things, these ideals from. So even when they go out and they say, okay, the boys are going to like me, the boys are going to like me as compared to what?
So any type of validation stimuli, preferably physical appearance.
Well, no. The boys are going to like me as compared to the other girls. So I can like myself just fine, but why don't the boys like me? Says the tomboy girl. Why?
Mm-hmm.
For the same reason that the other girls look at me strange and they don't want to be my friend. Never says the boy. Even if the boy is butt ugly, right? And he never gets
Mm-hmm.
any of the other girls, he never gets any of the girls that he goes after. Even if the other dudes pick on him, call the names, all that good stuff, the guy will never try to seek external validation and to improve his look just to please what the boys are saying about him. He's always going to go to the point of contention that the women will complain about. The women will always go to the point of contention that the women complain about. Even if she sees the men are saying a particular thing that may align with the women, she's always going to go to the point of contention that makes the women invite her in. Look at the mean girl conversations in high school. when they get to that very pivotal point of identity crisis. So even if girls say, oh, well, I don't want to be, it's not about, I don't want to be accepted by other girls, blah, blah, blah. It's still about that, even unintentionally. I'm anti-people. But at the end of the day, when I'm picking my makeup looks, what do you think? I find YouTube videos that inspire me to do eye makeup.
Well, I would hope and certainly not for no man.
Well, no, men have them, and men do a great fucking job. Like, I mean, a fantastic job.
Oh, Lord.
But I select the looks of the women. And I'm not gonna lie, like when I go to like Sephora or if I go to Ulta, you know what I'm saying? The guys have like the best makeup, hands down. But I'm still gonna depend on the women, 100% for the makeup looks.
Miss Nicole, yeah, that's why I was kind of being quiet too, Dr. Jeffs, because I was reading Miss Nicole come in. Miss Nicole, she decided that she was going to type a full paragraph. So I was reading it while you was talking. Everything she was
Nice
saying, and I was agreeing with it, But I'm gonna show it. She want this full paragraph smoke. I'm gonna give her this full paragraph smoke. The Roto full thesis. That's what she wrote. That's what I was reading.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't disagree with. I'm not knocking it at all. Oh, Miss Susanna, hey, welcome to YouTube. Appreciate you joining us. Now all you have to do is matter of fact, I'm gonna put the link up again for you. I'll make it easy for you. All you gotta do is click on that link and you be good to go. Yeah, I just dropped the link right there.
Yeah, Nicole, I was reading hers. So Nicole, I agree with you to a certain extent, but it doesn't matter because here's the thing, even if a woman has very high self-esteem, right? Because the thing is, in parent homes especially two-parent homes or one-parent home where the expectations are clear, where you have very healthy boundaries and things like that, very clear expectations and stuff like that, where a child is very congruent with their sense of self, have very sound sense of self-esteem, and those kids come up very, very secure, right? Very high self-esteem. Those kids are still though they're still going to have those basic things at the core of them. At the core of them. Those are things that motivate us from within because we have mothers who bore us into the world, and the mothers are the caretakers for that's what's at the core of it, just so you understand. So on an intrapsyche level, mothers are the core of conditioning, and mothers cultivate, shape, and mold people. That's why females are the source of validation for men and women.
Hey, Dr. Jefferson, one moment now. I would like to introduce Miss Susanna up to the one panel. Welcome, welcome. Appreciate you for coming up. I think. All right, while she doing that, Miss Peterson, she said this, well, we have to teach our daughters to not seek or need validations for other. Society, others need to be educated on the importance of not being so critical of others.
Well, I agree that, that's a great idea or whatever, but that also is something that creates your classic narcissist. Because it's just pseudo. It's, it's not real self-esteem. It's pseudo
Yeah, which,
confidence.
yeah, which I can agree to that. Let me ask you a question too, Dr. Jefferson. Now,
Hmm.
is validation a bad thing, or is
No.
it a good thing, or can it be a combination of both, depending on the perspective?
Mm-mm. Validation is something that keeps us congruent as people. It's the thing that, balances out our dissonance. It's the one thing that keeps us from making poor decisions in life. We need to be pulled back, reeled back when it's possible that we're going to step into a place that may not be conducive of positive outcomes. And so having reliable sources in our life to tell us, okay, well, this is a good idea, this is a bad idea, so that we can have something to go and, you know, balance or, weigh our own personal insights off of. We have to have a reference point, is what I'm saying. We have to, if you don't have that, then you have nothing. And then you become grandeur in your thought processes. For example, like I don't just speak to be speaking. I speak because there's a shitload of science behind what I say, and I've studied this for years. So the science of people, human behavior, these are things that teach me about what and why and how people do what they do, and so as we move and we evolve into different states of being and different moments of evolution, we learn new things about these new societies of people, because different generations yield different societies, different norms. And so, those are the things that we have to consider. We need people to be our centralized point of contention when we say, okay, what's good here? What's bad here? What's normal here? What's not here? We need these things. We need people to tell us, okay, you look good or you look bad. Without bad, there can be no good.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the whole point that I was making too, is that at the end of the day we need these things, and like I know sometimes people they'll look at the term validation as something bad, but in the sense
Right.
that I was using it, it wasn't nothing bad about it, but it's just the reality of it that we all look for that form of validation, and I even put myself out there, even myself, it is how it is.
Right. And to go to her point, I do think that education is something that needs to be expanded. So instead of avoiding the inevitable, which is criticism is a part of life, evaluation is an essential part of life. We do need to teach our kids to be more receptive of criticism, and that's what makes it constructive. So when someone is criticizing you, we need to take those points and realize that, okay, we can expound upon what it is that they're saying. We can look at it and see how much of it makes sense for us, what we can put into play and what we can see congruences about when we take a step out and look at ourselves on a, objectively. So the thing is, we can't call a thing when we're in it because we're so afraid that it's going to be a negative thing about us, or say something bad about us. We got to get out of our own way. You can't make necessary growth and strides in life if you stay in your own way trying to protect yourself from being hurt.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. And I agree with that point. I agree with that. And likewise, it's the same thing, even right now by me being married. Now I know that my wife she's all she's into the hair industry, but also she we both state workers too. But she also wear the wigs and tracks and extensions and all this stuff. And the reason why I don't have no issue with it whatsoever is because I accept her for that, and plus she's comfortable in her own personal femininity about it. She's not doing it because of any type of insecurity reasons behind it. You know, she just doing it because it just is. And that's the point that I was making with a lot of men as well. You know, a lot of mature men will be on that same ideology too, where it doesn't matter to them as long as she's comfortable in that space, comfortable in her own personal femininity about it. And not trying to boost her esteem or anything like that.
I don't think wigs have anything to do with your self-esteem, though.
Yeah,
Well,
I
maybe
know.
some people, I don't know, but
Yeah,
excuse me, I think it
yeah,
has more
based,
to do with versatility for me, about
yeah,
versatility and convenience.
yeah, based, yeah, based on the knowledge that my wife told me about this. Um, in most cases, the reason why the modern day women wear wigs is because of that's because it's easier to maintain. Because I I know that it takes a lot for y'all to maintain your hairstyle. I know it does. So sometimes that's to do something easy, like putting a wig on her. It's just easy. You just throw it on her and shape it up however you want to and walk out the door. Less than 10 minutes flat. You know, versus spending hours and hours and hours trying to get it together.
Well, I don't know. I don't spend a whole bunch of time on my hair because I mean, all women have different hair textures, and I think there's a misstep because a lot of people think that all women have the same texture of hair. You know, different women with different textures of hair wear wigs because of the versatility, though. My hair is pretty straight, and just straight and frizzy. However, it's not curly. I like curly wigs. It's long. I like short wigs. Sometimes I like long wigs. So it's about the versatility. And sometimes I wear my hair in a mix. So it's just depending on what I want to do for that day or that moment.
Hello, urban therapist.
Hello, Miss Suzanne. How you doing?
Good. How are you, sir? Hey, Dr. J.
Hey,
Hmm, interesting topic.
you guys got an echo.
Yo, I think it's you part of my presence. I think you got an echo part of my presence.
Who, me?
Nah, I'm gonna put myself on mute.
Let me see. Somebody got an echo here.
Is it me? No.
Let's clean up.
Hmm.
But anyway, everybody, welcome PMP to the podcast as well. Welcome, bro.
What's up? What's going on, man? Trying to navigate this smelling thing.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's some high tech stuff right here, bro.
But I was
Hey,
into
well,
the topic.
I could tell you about me, urban therapist. You've seen me before. I wear natural. But I remember the days of wearing wigs. I never really had tracks and stuff in my hair. But I knew I wanted my hair. And could you all hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So I knew, I mean, I had long, straightish hair. Some of it was curly, but my hair was off my shoulder. And one of the things was when I started perming my hair, I messed my hair up from perming. Perming damages your hair. I learned that much later in life. So I decided to wear wigs so that my hair could be matte. So while I treat my hair and get it back, looking decent. And that's why I started wearing wigs. I didn't wear wigs, at least to attract anyone. I didn't use it to attract men. I used it because I was really trying to get my hair back conditioned. And then I got to a point like 14 years ago where I was like, I didn't want to do it anymore. I didn't want to be in the mirror anymore. I didn't care. I didn't really, that didn't matter anymore. So I cut it all off. And it's been cut off for 13 years, 14 years. So for me, I didn't need validation of how my hair looked, even when I wear a wig or anything. I mean, if I ask my husband how I look, he knows. He said, if you're comfortable with how you look, I'm comfortable with how you look. And that's how we handle that stuff. But, it was never anything about validation. But for us as women, we connect. Woman connects. We have to connect with each other. That's how we relate. So, Dr. J was mentioning that it's really about not us trying to get validation from men, but it's us trying to connect with other women. And I think sometimes somebody on the outside looking in thinks it's validation when it's really connectedness. That's how women relate. That's the nature of who we are. That's why other women are important in our lives.
Now, question for you, Susanna and Dr. J. Could validation and connection be one and the same? Could it be integral to one another, synonymous to one another?
Well, I think it can. I mean, I think connectedness is just like in our DNA. Validation really, for me, comes from a perspective of choice making. But for women, identify who they are by us connecting with each other. I think we want validation when you're looking for something outside of who you are. You're looking for something from someone else to make you feel a certain way. And you can correct me, Dr. J, but that's how I understand validation. I never wore a wig because I looked at other women and realized they look beautiful and I wanted to look like that. I got a wig because my hair was messed up because I had pulled my hair for so many years and it broke my hair up. So it was easy for me one day to look in the mirror and says, if I stay 10 more minutes in the mirror, I'm going to be late for work. Why am I doing this? Tell my husband I'm cutting it off. My husband's bald. I told him I wasn't going bald, but I was cutting it all off, almost. And that's how it's been ever since. I never needed anybody to tell me, oh, that looks beautiful, for me to feel that it was beautiful. That was just never where I was.
Can I just ask?
Yes.
Once you cut it off, well, okay, prior to you cutting it off, did it feel like you actually cared what people thought, which is why you look at it as messy, as opposed to when you cut it off and you could care less what people thought, that you had true freedom?
Well, it wasn't messy. I was well visibly aware my hair was broken up. Like, I don't know if how I could explain that, but when you permed your hair for many years, if you don't condition it, could put conditioning and deep conditioning, your hair breaks up because that's what perm does.
Yeah, it doesn't grow evenly afterwards.
That's not good for your hair. I learned that later on. And it broke up because it meant, I started kind of losing hair around the head, around my head. I was like, oh, I don't want to lose my hair. So I knew I had to do some other things to get my hair healthy again. And one of the way I did that was I wear a wig while I was doing that process. And I stopped because I just didn't want to keep going in the mirror and trying to fix this piece, fix that piece, put it in order. I'm done. I'm okay. And that's what I did. But I didn't feel like I didn't suddenly feel free because I had stopped wearing wig. It was just okay. I don't have to wear a wig. I can do natural and be okay. I'm all right. For me, that's how it worked for me. So it was, I could put on a wig tomorrow and be okay with that.
Okay, I got you one.
Uh-huh.
I got a couple of them for you. But no, I think like the first time for me when I first cut my hair, unlike you, Susanna, I cut mine because like I think I saw so many people with the same hairstyle that I had. Because I had like the Farrah Fawcett thing going. The first time I cut my hair was like the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
So I had that short, it was short at the top and it was like to my butt in the back. And, just kind of curled and stuff at the top and frizzy. So I cut it all the way off. I kind of went, it was probably like a half inch all the way around. My husband freaked out. And yeah, I had to grow it back. So by the end of the year, it was back. So he was the only person that I cared about, and I wasn't wearing wigs back then, and that wasn't an option because when I said I could just go and get a wig, It's just hair can grow back. He was just like, no, you made a decision. You didn't include me on it. You can't just cut your hair. So he pulled the whole masculine energy thing. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, Miss Susanna,
Yes,
what
sir.
you have to do, you have to close the YouTube app. That's why
Yeah.
you're getting that echo.
Well, all I have on, mm, no, I got rid of that. So this is all I've got.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
because it's doing that because either you or someone else, you actually still have YouTube playing while you
Mm-mm.
click on to come on to the panel.
No, I got rid of that because I was hearing an echo. So all it says is the best live streaming app. That's all I got out. Mm.
Okay, okay.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, I'm in a marriage, so I knew I was gonna cut my hair, and I told my I didn't ask him. I said, hey, I'm gonna cut my hair, but I'm not gonna go bald like you. And he was like, okay. And then they all waited till I come home, and they all said, oh, looks nice. And they're like, I didn't know you had such a nice head, and we were okay with it. Um, but that was the extent of it for me. And now I let it kind of grow a little bit, and I cut it, and I let it grow, and I go on to wash and wear, and I'm okay.
If I
Some
could
days I
add,
comb it, some days I don't. Hmm.
if I could add
Sure.
my male point of view to all this, it's not my place to say how women should wear their hair, but to be completely honest, I prefer natural, only because I find that the women who go natural seem to have more comfortability with that style. Um, they're also, again, just my opinion, they're also more in control of taking care of their natural hair than if it was, say, a wig, or say, extensions, or so on and so forth. They seem to be, they put a lot more effort into it as a result, uh, which to me is appealing, right? But at the end of the day, I think it doesn't really matter what you have, as long as you don't let your hair take control of you and your life, and how you feel about yourself, and you're not a slave, so to speak, to your hair, right? I've seen a lot of women who pretty much their hair runs them. The appointments that they make uh, at the at the salon, they're there for 3 or 4 hours. Uh, the damage that happens with their hair, so on and so forth, and the lack of options afterwards, right? But so, uh, to be honest, as long as a woman is comfortable in her own hair and her own skin, and the fact that if she does decide to go natural, it's not an issue for her, then I don't really have a problem.
Yeah,
So, Mr.
PMP.
Alfred,
This
can
was
I
this
ask
was
you a
the same point I
question?
made earlier about the overall consensus
Okay.
about how men think and feel about this topic. Oh, also to Miss Nicole, she had put this comment up here, and I'm very curious about that. Um, how many of y'all actually did this where your mom had actually perm your hair out?
I've never had a perm, so
Well, I did because my hair was perm when I was in my 12, 13 maybe, because I had a lot of hair. My family has a lot of hair. So, not it was way out, and I'm telling you, like Gilda Radner is way out there. If anybody know who she is from Saturday Night Live, it wasn't so curly, but it was more straight. But I had a lot of hair, and they had to figure out how to manage this because I couldn't comb my hair really good then. So we all got perm, and that's how it started for me to have. And I just continued to perm my hair because it made it straight and laid a little bit on my head, and then I could style it however I want. So, I was one who got my hair permed as a kid. to make it more manageable for my sisters until I learned how to do my hair. But we were all like that, myself and my sisters, including my brother. He had a lot of hair way out there. We had long hair off our shoulders and a lot. So yeah, I was one of those. I was one of those girls.
Did it hurt?
You mean like it hurt to comb, to braid? Yeah, you know, it hurt to braid your hair.
What about like getting the perm?
I think part of the issue was way back then. Perms were even worse than they were today, so it burned a lot. And we didn't know a whole lot about how to take care of your hair. So there wasn't like deep conditioning stuff. You wash your hair and you condition it like you usually do, but we didn't have all that fancy extra, conditioning that have all this kind of stuff that protects your hair. We didn't have that stuff. So, I grew up in a different country. So certainly when I got here, I learned about that stuff, and I think the weather and the lifestyle, started breaking up my hair, and the hot comb and the hot curlers and all that kind of stuff broke my hair up. And I was like, one day, didn't want to, had to do something different.
Do you have children?
Yes, I do.
Any daughters?
No, it doesn't have any girls.
But my boys had long hair. They had long hair, and I braided their hair. We put it in cornrow and left it like that.
I was going to ask you, just based on how your mother took care of your hair, would you do the exact same thing if you had daughters? Would you do the same thing for your daughters, or would you do it differently?
I would never know the answer to that question. I don't know. If I had daughters when I was perming my hair, I probably would have.
How about you, Doc?
Depends on the hair texture. I'm sorry.
Oh, same question for Dr. Jefferson too.
So for me, our hair texture is we just don't have a hair texture that I don't think is compatible with a perm. My daughters, they have been able to kind of make their decision as to what they do with their hair. And they've not had perms, but they have some interesting combinations of hair patterns. And they do some interesting things with their hair. One of my daughters she has her own YouTube, and she's kind of like, I guess you guys could say a hair model. Kinky and curly something. It's she and her best friend, they have a lot of hair. So people watch them and they watch them wash their hair and stuff like that. It's weird. But no, we've never permed their hair. I just always kept it clean, and if they wanted me to braid their hair or straighten it, curl it a certain way, or style it a certain way, I did that. Cut it. I've done that. That's pretty much it. Whatever I do with mine, I do with theirs.
Okay, because just like that commenter said, even for me and the girls I dated in the past, growing up, a perm was a thing to do. But in hindsight, a perm causes a lot of issues with your scalp and your hairline, right? And also the thickness of your hair as well too.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where if your parent is doing that to you at a young age, then by the time you get older, you don't the time when you have a say with how you want to look and what you want to do to your hair, you don't have that same option because all that damage already occurred. So I see a lot of YouTube channels where women are showing other women or teaching other women how to take care of different hair textures, and that's a good thing because then you're giving younger generation more information of how they take care of their hair other than just permanent. right? So hopefully 10, 20 years in the future, you'll see more black women with natural hair because their hair won't be as damaged where they have to wear either a wig or either lace front or any other types of extensions or wigs.
You know, it's interesting, right? Because I know I've talked to other women about this over the years. And I know growing up, at least correction, growing up and living in America, one of the things I've learned, because I'm not an American by birth, one of the things I learned about hair is that because black hair is usually sort of curly-ish, if we wanted to style our hair in fancy style, our hair had to be straight to be able to do that. So perm for black hair is designed to straighten your hair out, and perm for white hair is designed to make their hair curly so they could style it. So it's interesting. I don't know if people know that, but perm for white hair is really to curl, make their hair curly, and for black hair it's to straighten our hair out. It's all the lye and all that stuff that's and peroxide that's in it that really damages your scalp and your hair. Yeah. So I know that's part of probably why my family started perming my hair because we all had a lot of hair and it was sort of curly and way out a lot. So it was unmanageable. And if you perm it, you can make it straight and it's flatter, and then it's more. You could put it in a bun. You could, curl up just the front, curl up the back somewhere, but at least it's straight on you, and you can put it in a ribbon, tied in a ribbon or something. But I've learned that by having conversations with people about their hair, and today for me it's I keep it short because I don't want to comb and do all that stuff anymore. I just don't. And so that's some of the things I've learned about hair, and I'm not sure everybody understands why there's perm and different kinds of perm.
Right, and keratin treatments are really effective. Deep conditioner treatments are really effective as well. Right, that's what a texturizer is. Those keratin treatments, and they're pretty effective. Like one of my daughters, she has 4C hair, and it's interesting, some of the things that she does with it. I think that she should just like let it just coil out because it's a lot of hair and just kind of wear it like I see so many people do. 'Cause she's the only one that has that kind of like coil of all of us. 'Cause I only have 4 girls, and she refuses to. But I've been a parent that's always like made my kids kind of like the executive of their own hair, because I've always just kind of been like, okay, we'll just pull it back because they've always had so much of it. Pull it back, put it in a ponytail, let's go. Very simple. And when she got old enough, when they're around 10, 11, they kind of become their own thing, their own versions of themselves, and they start doing their own thing with their hair because it's kind of like their thing in our system. And she started doing some very interesting style twist outs, these what do you call those, Bantu knots?
Bantu
Um,
twist.
yeah. So she does those, and hers hold better than anybody else's. Because the rest of us, if we even attempt, they're gone in like 30 minutes. But she'll do those. They'll stay for like a day or two. She can put a bonnet on and she can hold a style. She's probably the only person that can hold a style with curls without a ton of hairspray. But I think that you can have damage in your hair without having to you can have damage without only perms. Damage can happen a lot of different ways. Naturally, free radicals, not conditioning, not washing the hair, not cutting the hair properly. It's a lot of things that causes damage to the hair. So I think that people just have to understand proper hair techniques. Taking care of the hair is, a huge thing. And it's difficult for a lot of moms with kids with a lot of hair, especially black moms.
It's true. And cornrow also damages your hair. I mean, because I remember when my sister would cornrow my hair, they'd pull it so tight that you had a headache for a week. But the constant pulling up the front of your hair starts breaking, and when you see women today with a lot of the front of their hair are broken and stuff like that. So natural hair that can happen. I know, like my sons, they both had different kind of hair. My youngest had really curly hair. I could just put that in a ponytail. My oldest had more thicker hair, which worked with a cornrow. I could put it in cornrow and leave his hair like that for a week. He'll be fine. Then my youngest, I couldn't put his hair in cornrow. It would be out in 2 days or less because his hair was just so curly. But yeah, I learned to take care of the hair because from my hair knowing how it broke up because of how I didn't take care of it, I did differently with them. I did it very differently.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, real quick, we're gonna take a real brief intermission, and we're gonna come right back. All right, and Dr. Suzanne, you could continue your point too when we come back. All right.
Okay. Sure.
Give me a second. And we're back, everybody.
What in the world was that?
What? I know. I hope you didn't hear me. I think I accidentally clicked my mic and said, "You're so silly."
We're back. That was my intermission.
Can I ask you a question? So you said men were saying that, correct me, was men talking to you about they were concerned how that women were wearing all these wigs and extensions because they wanted validation? Or is he gone?
No, but like Kevin Samuels talks about that all the time.
With the nails and stuff like that.
Yeah, rate yourself natural, no makeup, face. And what do you say? Your natural hair, all that stuff.
Cleopatra wear that stuff.
I know, right? But they don't realize that. I think a lot of when this generation looks to the past, they don't look to the past and recognize those trends as makeup or weaves or anything like that because it's like, okay, well, it's so far back. It's you know what I mean? These are things it's not a picture era. So whatever. So, but it's a point of contention for black men. I think today they make a huge deal of it.
Well, is it because they feel like if their girlfriends say how you like my hair that they have to say I love it if they don't?
I don't know.
Are you asking the men?
Yeah, that urban therapist, is that what the man is telling you?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
I was saying, I was wondering if part of the issue was that men felt they have to tell their woman their hair look really nice. If she says, "How do you like my hair?" That they have to say it looks really nice if they don't think it does, for peace sake.
Yeah, that's a possibility in that scenario because most women is looking for their significant other to give them that particular validation, saying that it looks good.
Plus, they spent all that money too.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point I was going to make too. They didn't spend all this time and money into getting a certain hairstyle, and so of course they're going to be looking for this type of validation from their significant other. And then for him to come back and say, "No, I don't like that," of course they're gonna be in their feelings. Y'all gonna be in y'all feelings, like for real.
Why?
I've never been there.
Right.
It's never even been an issue for me and my husband. The most he might say is, "Oh, you got a new wig." I says, "Yeah."
Right.
I didn't even ask, "Did you like it?" It's like, yeah. He just noticed. He noticed and he said, "Oh, I noticed. Oh, you got a new wig." He said, "That's new." I said, "Yeah." It
Babe,
was
have you ever
never
seen
even an
anything?
issue for me
Have
about
any of my
validation.
hairstyles ever been ugly?
Huh?
That's a loaded question.
What did you say, Dr. J? Oh, she's asking Kel. No, your hair always look fly.
Be honest.
Kel,
Be
don't
honest.
do that to Kel.
Yeah, be honest, producer. Be real.
He'd be the doghouse.
I'm trying to think. What about wigs? What about my haircut? Any crazy haircuts you didn't like? So you rather me wear my regular hair, short or long? So you don't like it when it's short? You see, the truth comes out.
I told y'all think I be lying about this. I be having this conversation with men.
Mm-mm. I know he doesn't like it when I cut it short. Like I know that's not what he likes, but he won't say nothing.
No, he don't
I
want
don't
to
cut it
Because
say
he
short.
don't
nothing.
want to hurt your feelings, and he feel like he have
Yep.
to validate you. That's I'm telling you, is
If you
what it
got nothing
is.
nice to say,
So that was the question I was asking. If men felt they had to say yes, because my husband said, if you like it, then I like it's cool with me. If it's cool with you, it's cool with me. That's what he says.
that's a way to prevent any arguments.
Yeah, he's also a social worker, so he sort of know how to.
There you go.
Well,
If
Kel's
it's
not
what
a
you
social
like,
worker, and he's
There'll be two
very
social
open
workers
with saying
complaining.
he hate when I put dark lipstick on, and I'm very open with saying I'm gonna put it on anyway. So damn that.
Wow, because if my husband ever said I hated that stuff on your head, I would take it off. I wouldn't say,
Oh,
well, I'm gonna wear it because
you're better than
the
me.
feedback would be fine. I'd be like, okay, well, somebody noticed this thing is jacked up somewhere. I would reevaluate it as I would
Mm-mm.
with anything, whether it's clothes or stuff. I would reevaluate. Well, because I want to please him, and I want to when we go out that we look good as a couple. So,
Validation.
mm, yeah.
Mm-mm. Not me. I like my dark lipstick. He doesn't like it. And look,
Oh
I'm,
well,
I'm
you gonna
not gonna lie.
still yeah. Oh
Look, I
well,
yeah,
you
put
she's
it
still
gonna
gonna
on.
still
do
like
it.
it anyway. Being hard
Okay,
headed, huh?
okay,
Yep,
Kel.
I put it on, and I look. I peek out of my corner of my eye. I see him when he's like looking around in my makeup room with this look on his face, and I'm like, I'm about to ombre it. So just get out.
Okay, Kel need to talk to James. Kel need to know how to uh, work this different. Cause
No, Kel. Look, Kel is just gonna say it. I don't like that.
no, I think my husband's cool. I think he trusts me enough that whatever I do, he's cool, he's okay with it. So
No,
but
very
the
seldom.
urban therapist. So what do
Yeah,
you think
I'm
are
listening to you.
solutions to this? To your initial question.
The solution?
Oh, what are some solutions? What do you think?
Men should mind their business.
That's
Well, we
false.
have their business if they're in a relationship with us, right?
They need to mind their own business.
We have
No,
their
shoot,
own
we got to put up with y'all
Yeah, we
cutting
got
up, so it
we
is our
gotta hold your
business.
hands.
They need to mind their own business.
Well, you see, when I asked you about the topi, it wasn't that I was trying to change the subject. It's the same because we'd have to figure out how we'd answer it on his head if we didn't
Hell
like
no.
it.
Man, we're still not talking about the man who decides to wear toothpaste. Though. That is not the topic.
My husband said he was trying to grow his hair back, and he showed me a picture of when he had hair. It was all good. I was like, I was like,
That sounds like me.
I love you, ball. You sexy ball.
No, that's not me. See, Susanna, you danced around stuff. I would have said the
Well, I did say,
and I
said I
would have
love you,
waited for
ball.
him to ask for the expand, and then I would have just gave it to him. You know,
But you
I
know
let
he
you walk in the
won't.
trap.
But yeah, okay. So,
But no,
But
I'm
now
gonna
he.
say,
Oh,
I
go ahead,
think
doctor.
this. Okay, I think men have to understand that women will try their best to respect the male's preferences, but you know, I have a lot of hair. So like I tell him all the time, the day that you are going to style my hair, just put it in a ponytail for me, you know? It's fine, you know, because I like to wash my hair frequently. So I wash it every day in the shower, put it in the ponytail, but you're gonna have to dry it, right? And put it in a ponytail for me. It's a lot, you know,
So,
it's a lot.
so in other words, this dude have to do all these different conditions just to satisfy something that he either
He won't.
like or don't like.
If that's his preference, if he wants it out. Because I don't really have to, like, I don't want to have it touching me.
You
Mm.
do know how that sound, right?
But I'm just weird like that. Like my hair, I have a lot of hair, so
she
I
does.
don't want it. I don't want it to. I don't want my hair touching me. But like a wig is so thin, like that hair is nothing.
But you sit up here putting a requirement on him.
Oh
He's
no,
saying this one thing like, well, okay, if you want this, then you won't have to do this and that and that
yeah.
and that too.
If he wants my hair out every day, then he would have to do it.
How to or choose to do it.
He would have to do it if he wants it out every day. Because otherwise, it's gonna go in that ponytail, wet, wrapped, wig cap, wig. Easy peasy.
Mm-mm-mm. Boy, I tell you. And see, this is the reason why we have Kevin Samuels right now. This is the reason why.
Yep.
Look,
This
let
is
me
the
tell you
reason.
something.
There you
Look,
have it.
You see,
look, let me look, when I asked him, I said, "What is men's obsession with trying to make women, be all natural and all that?" One of the things that he said was this, and I agree. Okay, sometimes women overdo it. So if a woman does not look like her natural self when she wears makeup, if her face looks something if you look like a totally different person with your wig and your face made up, then God help you. And you're catfish and you're wrong out here in these streets. However, he says that I'm the same person, and obviously I'm the same person. I have no problem with posting natural face pictures. I got my facial done yesterday, right? At Lennox. Listen, I ain't got no problems with walking in public with just no makeup on. I ain't got no problems with having my regular face out. I'm the same person. So I can enjoy makeup and enjoy my wigs, and I can also enjoy my regular face, and I'm still gonna be the same person. Now, if you out here, exactly, if you out here and you're a whole different person with your makeup and your wigs, then I gotta say I go with the guys.
But isn't that what's happening nowadays? It's not just the makeup; it's the eyelashes, it's
Yeah,
the filters.
the
yeah,
So
nails.
there's so many different things now.
it's
Yeah.
Like
all
to the
that.
point where even a man could be a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Man, listen.
Yeah. See,
So
like
Let me
I
tell
have
you.
red hair. My hair is red, but I've always had red hair. It's a different shade now than it was when I was younger. But I remember me with red hair, so I keep the red hair. But other than that, I don't do makeup unless I'm going somewhere really fancy. I do wear my lipstick. I stand corrected. I just, but I don't. I like you, Dr. J. I could or couldn't, and I'd be okay either way.
Hmm.
I make decisions about. I don't wanna. I don't want all that anymore. You know.
That's what I said. I
so
come with a disclaimer.
here's another thing too. If you hide under a mask, whether it's makeup or a wig, does that say more about someone's uh, inner self and their personality, or things that they're hiding on the inside?
Absolutely.
Some, well, sometimes I think it does, and sometimes it doesn't, because I do. Yeah, because I think it says that there is something to be hidden, and we all have blemishes. I see a lot of people that suffer through traumatic events in their life, like fires and stuff like that, and their skin is not what it used to be, and that's their way of returning to a higher sense, right? A higher sense of feeling like themselves again. And so I get them, but yeah, but for other people, and you were just born unfortunate, you have to learn how to just accept your face for what it is. You can't be going out here changing your face altogether. And to be honest with you, I they are very talented because they can do that. So I give them credit for being able to do that because man, I
And I know what he's
don't know where
asking.
I got this man from. Shut up.
And there
God.
are women who feel really bad about have low self esteem, and if they're good at having, put on makeup that kind of looks different and looks nice, and people say, "Oh, that looks really nice," it makes them feel better about themselves. It really doesn't fully make them. It doesn't really, what's the word? Make their self esteem any better, because at the end of the day, when they're sitting with themselves, they still feel really bad about who they are. But yes,
Hmm.
there are women who do that, who dress and wear makeup and wigs because they want to be complimented and they want somebody to say you look beautiful, because that's how they identify themselves, because they don't have a real healthy sense of self. So yeah, there are people like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are coming into the final minutes of the show, and I appreciate everyone tuning in, and I appreciate all the panelists, guests as well, who um who are help participating. Um, I want to go ahead and invite an opportunity for all the panelists, guests to go ahead and introduce themselves and go ahead and provide a channel if they have one, and I will come with the final thoughts, and we'll be done for this tonight. Dr. J, you first, my bad.
Okay. So I am Dr. Jefferson of Life Discussions with Dr. Jefferson. You guys can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, what is that, TikTok, all those places where you find people. If you're trying to support my channel, I do have a monthly support via anchor.fm/DOCLQJ. You guys can subscribe for a monthly subscription. I think for maybe I think the subscription amounts are like $5 and $10 or something like that. Or you can donate on PayPal and all those places or whatever. Um, but yeah, come over, subscribe to my YouTube. Life Discussions with Dr. Jefferson is a platform where we have accountability conversations and some pretty challenging conversations in general. We talked about suicide tonight. Today was a really heavy one because I was challenged by a viewer to also have the accountability conversation about a fellow veteran who is responsible for killing a family, and a baby was part of that in Florida, and that was heavy. But did what I had to do. It is what it is. I'm always pushing positive energy out there, for folks. because we have to remain positive amidst all of the chaos that is currently going on right now, and to try and be an anchor for other people. So that's all I got.
I am Susanna Stone. I am a social worker, and I have a private practice. I don't. I have a Facebook, and I have a private practice. I don't have anything on YouTube. I don't have a podcast. Maybe one day I will. But I have a private practice where I work with folks who have substance issues and trauma issues. Those are my specialty, and I work with interns because I think it's important for us as we do this work as therapists for us to really understand what it means to be a therapist so that when we go out there we can help save lives rather than create more problems for the people who are already having problems with their lives. So that's really kind of me. I enjoy that kind of a work, and that's what that's my commitment to life, helping others have the kind of life that they really want to in the best possible way. Thank you, the Urban Therapist, for having me on.
And you can find me on my YouTube channel, Part of My Presence, a place where I partner in space for critical thought and analysis. I try to touch on the current events and just bring it full circle in how we could use those circumstances to better our own lives. Other than that, thank you very much for this platform. Until next time.
And I forgot to say that my practice is called Recovery and Consulting Through a Different Lens. And you can find me at Sue Stone at ssrecovery.org. You can take a look at my website. If you know anybody who's looking for support, I'm all online so I can see you anywhere.
Yeah, Miss Susanna, you can also put that in a chat and either on YouTube or Facebook
Okay.
or Facebook either or, so people have access to that. Just type it in there.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, once again, everybody, I appreciate you tuning in tonight. Today's show was on a very good show. Jessica was thinking that this show was going to be a man bashing women for wearing her extensions and all that type of show, but you
That's
know
not
me by
you.
now. You know I ain't gonna do things
That's
like
not
that.
you.
You know how I am. All I do, I just engage into these conversations, these different topics that people talk to me about. I just present on a platform and we just have a conversation about it. Just that simple. But I appreciate everyone for tuning in tonight. I appreciate it a whole lot. I appreciate everyone who's on the panel tonight. I appreciate y'all jumping in as well. Even though I'm using a new software that they're not familiar with, but we all rocking with it tonight. So it's cool.
It
And
sucks.
also, I appreciate everyone who's in the chat as well, who's on the chat on Facebook and on YouTube as well. Appreciate y'all being there. I see y'all, Miss Joy Chit Chat. She dropped in, say hey, and Miss Lisa, they dropped in as well to say hey. I see y'all, and I appreciate y'all tuning in. So until next time, everybody, continue to fight fates with faith. We will see you again on the next show. Bye bye.